Hello fellow drawers, how's it going? I got a new camera, a microphone, I really hope it works. Today we're gonna be reading more unhinged Reddit stories by artists, about artists, art-related stuff and things. So make some tea, draw along, eat along, and let's get into it. So let's start with, I wanted to say something more tame, but there is no tame in any of this, based on the titles, really. So, am I the a-hole for pointing out that my roommate only paints black people? I will give every story the benefit of the doubt, of course, but based on the title, oh brother. My roommate won a finalist position for an art competition. Congratulations. She has to complete a portfolio of work to turn in. I didn't know my roommate before we moved in together, but we get along very well and have lived together for around 8 months. Since we are at home together a lot at the moment, she has been asking me a lot about her projects. I don't know much about art, but she asked me just generally how things make me feel. This afternoon, she showed me a portrait that she's working on. While I thought it was a nice picture, it struck me that my roommate only has paintings and drawings of black people. I even scrolled through her Instagram to check and be sure my assumption was correct. Why are they acting like they found pictures of dead people, like actual corpses, and suspect their roommate of murder? That's so funny. I asked my roommate what was up with that. Yeah, what's up with that, dude? Just like, why do you only draw black people? She seemed to not understand why I was asking her, but my roommate is all about diversity, so I asked her why she only had one race represented in her artwork. She got annoyed with me when I asked and started getting really defensive. She claims to not have seen many black people in art when she was growing up, so she likes to represent blackness, etc. I didn't buy it. Yeah, sounds like BS, you're right. Even though I'm white, word? No shit, really? I have seen a ton of black people represented in artwork and as artists. We ended up getting into a little argument where she accused me of trying to dictate who she can and can't paint. I did not mean it to come off this way, but I was genuinely curious as to why her artwork wasn't more diverse. She is entering a national competition and there are more than just black people in the US. She and I have also been going back and forth on social media since she went there to vent her frustrations with me. She's making me look like an ass and not letting me explain, even though I feel like as if I have a legitimate point. I also want to turn to internet strangers and know if they think this actually makes me an a-hole knowing my thought processes. Can people just get off artists' ass? Why do you care? First of all, obviously this person, most likely diversity is not their actual concern, but racism aside, no artist has to be diverse at all. Let people draw whoever and however they want to draw. If you want to only draw anime girls' portraits, you're allowed to only draw anime girls' portraits. If you want to only draw black people, you are allowed to only draw black people. If you want to only draw white people, you can do that as well. You can choose to only draw skinny characters, or only chubby characters, or only men, or only women, or only old people, or only furries. You are allowed to do that. You're just an artist. You're not a multi-million-dollar corporation that actually has to be inclusive and diverse and socially acceptable and all that. But this is just ridiculous. I would not want to be your friend if you're gonna police my art like that. The verdict is a-hole, obviously. Top comment, you're the a-hole. I would be willing to bet that out of the many artists out there who have only painted white people, you never stop to ponder why. You notice this because they're not the same race as you. Your roommate is not personally responsible for making sure every race in the US is represented in art. This is literally the definition of none of your business. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And it's one thing to tell your friend that, but to post it on the internet thinking that people are gonna back you up, that's what's even crazier to me. Okay, let's move on. This next story also comes from Am I the A-hole? Am I the A-hole for charging my sister £2,500 for one of my paintings after her kid ruined it? I mean, without knowing the context, I'd say that totally depends on the situation, your relationship with your sister and her kid, on their reaction after ruining your painting, and the painting itself, so I don't have any opinion from the title alone. I'm 26 and a fairly successful artist. My sister Lucy, 24, and her child Ethan, 9 years old, were at my house during a late New Year's celebration. I had a sign posted on my art studio saying, "Do not enter," and specifically made it clear to all guests that nobody was to enter that room. I'd also like to note that all my guests were asked to leave their kids at home as this was for adults, but Lucy couldn't do that because she couldn't find a sitter. Note, I also set up my boyfriend's PS4 for him to play on so he wouldn't be bored. That's nice. It's 10 p.m. and I hear a loud crash from my studio. I run up and see paint all over my recent work that was so far has taken me 15 hours to do. Ethan was sat there laughing, rubbing paint into my work. I'm sorry, how old is this kid? 9 years old! So he's not like a toddler that has no comprehension of consequences and just sticks their little hand in paint and then smudges it all over the wall and then eats it. Right? That's a grown-ass kid. It's now unsalvageable, and I have to restart the work as it was a specific request from a client, which also puts me behind for the rest of my work now. Oh my god, that was a commission too? I immediately asked Ethan and Lucy to leave, and the next day I sent her a bill for the work, £2,500, which is lower than I would have gotten for the work anyway. Oh, you should have charged her like triple the price for psychological damage alone. Because it's one thing to make a complicated painting, and another to have to redraw that same exact painting from scratch. It becomes 10 times harder because it's not even fun anymore. You've already done all of that. And now it's just annoying. She's absolutely screaming about it. Oh, boo-hoo, watch your kid next time. The whole family is divided. My mom hates me. She can offer your sister to split the bill. My dad completely agrees with me. W dad, absolute king. Surprise, my dad is an artist, my mom is more smart. So what? I don't think it takes being an artist to understand the situation. It just takes common decency, which your mother and sister and that little demon monster boy do not have. My sister's husband agrees with me. I will admittedly say I don't enjoy kids or their company. I think that's probably because the only experience you had is being around this hell creature, so no wonder. Some kids are pretty nice. Not this one though. This one can go. But I've always been a great auntie. Presents at Christmas, gifts from vacation, everything he's wanted. Am I the a-hole for charging my sister £2,500? No, not at all. You have literally taken every step, every precaution possible to prevent this from happening. You put a sign on the door, you told them not to go to that room, you gave him a PS4 to play on, you did not invite kids in the first place. So the only reason for this I see is that he did it on purpose out of malicious intent. I mean, he sat there laughing, rubbing paint into your work. So that was not an accident. I've been around small kids my entire life. I have 3 little brothers. Not brothers, but like 2 cousins and 1 half brother. Thankfully, nothing like this ever happened to me. But if it did, I will not say what I would do to that child if I were in her shoes. But if I were her sister, if my child did that, I would disown them, probably. But if I couldn't disown them for some reason, then I would say, okay, listen up. You ruined Auntie's work that she spent so much time and effort on, and now we gotta pay her back. And the way we're gonna do this is you're gonna bring me your iPad, your phone, your new toys that you got for New Year's, and I'm gonna sell all of that and give the money to your aunt. Understood? Good. Also, I am disowning you because you're a real disappointment. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my wife that painting doesn't count as a job unless it makes money? Interesting. My wife doesn't work. Her company laid around 3/4 of its staff off around 3 years ago, and because I make enough money to comfortably support us both, and she made an insignificant amount compared to that, I said she could stay home, on one condition, that she do all the chores, because I really hate doing chores. I said she can pick 1 or 2 things she doesn't want to do because, for example, I take out the garbage. Everyone has that one chore they'd rather die than do. Sounds like a very fair, reasonable husband so far. In the past few weeks, she stopped doing chores and has been painting a lot. She says that she's working when she's painting and can't do the chores. I asked her what she meant, and she said that she's been painting 6 to 8 hours a day, which is equivalent to a job. I told her that it's nice that she likes painting and does it so much, but it's a hobby, not a job, unless she starts selling paintings and making money from it. Otherwise, she still has to do the chores. She got mad at me. Am I the a-hole? Edit, I didn't make her stay home. I gave it to her as an option. She could have gotten another job and had things continue as normal. That's so weird. No, of course you're not the asshole. So there are 24 hours in a day. She's painting for 6 to 8 hours, sleeping for another 8 hours. There are still another 8 to 10 hours a day when she's awake and not painting. What is she doing? Math isn't really mathing here. It's not like chores take 20 hours to do. You can easily do chores and paint as a hobby in your free time. I would like to ask this woman, if your husband didn't work and then told you that he would not do any chores because, you see, he plays video games for 6 to 8 hours a day, and actually that counts as a real job. So Dude, I sometimes draw for 12 hours a day. That is something I do pretty frequently. And even on those days, I can manage to wash the dishes or make a meal, you know? Like, what? Help your partner if you like them a little bit. The verdict is obviously not the asshole here, so. Moving on, next story. Am I the a-hole for not paying for a painting I asked my friend to do? My 27 female friend, Jordan, 28 female, is a wonderful artist. I love her work, so I told her that if she ever considered doing commission pieces, I wanted to be her first customer. She said okay, and I sent her a picture of my dad who passed away as a reference. I wanted to give this painting to my mom as a gift. This was back in early 2018. This post is 8 months old, so 6 years has passed. Oh no. Jordan said that she would start on it when she could, but that she was busy. I just thought she didn't want to do any commission work yet and just left it at that. A few weeks after our conversation, Jordan posted on social media saying that she was open to do commission pieces and posted how she would charge for those pieces. I messaged her again and she said that she got my order and was starting the piece for me. Per her post, I assumed the piece would be around $200. She also said she was charging her clients around that much, so I should expect to pay about the same. She said she didn't want me to pay until after she was done, so I didn't. Why didn't she want her to pay her beforehand? That's kind of weird. No. My opinion, the only right way to go when taking commissions is full payment up front. 100% prepayment. Even if it's a friend, save yours and your client's nerves. Only start working on something when you can see that payment in your bank account with your own eyes. Not after they promise to pay you later today or tomorrow or the day after. No, only after you see that money in front of you. I mean, you can do like 50% or 75% prepayment, but that is still like you're taking a risk. I personally would not do that. For the last 6 years, she would post the other commission pieces she had done. When I asked about mine, she would say she's working on it, but that she hadn't had the time to finish it. For 6 years, you haven't had the time to finish one painting? She often lost her job, was looking for a new place to stay, etc. I understood that times could be hard, so I waited. The reason I didn't just stop asking her was because she would sometimes send me Snapchats or sneak peeks of the painting, so I knew she was working on it little by little. Well, flash forward to last weekend, she finally gave it to me. It is a beautiful painting of my dad, and I cried looking at it. Oh, she then told me it was $700. Excuse you? Heartless monster bitch? I was not prepared to pay that much. I told her that when she started doing commissions, she was charging her clients $200 to $300. She responded saying that she realized her work was worth more, and also the cost of supplies has gone up since then, plus the amount of time spent working on it. I thought it was unfair to charge me so much given I waited years for this painting. Also, within the last 6 years, I have gotten married, bought a house, and have 2 young children. I do not just have $700 to spare on this painting. She told me that it isn't her fault that I can't afford it and refused to give it to me until I could pay her. I told her to just keep it since I did not have money for it. She called me a jerk for wasting her time on it and left. Am I the a-hole? Oh my god, what a stupid bitch! Well, this will be the lesson for her, for the artist, I mean. If you don't charge people up front, then be prepared that they might not pay you at all. Unfortunately, I think every artist has to learn this lesson at some point. Is it frustrating and sad when you don't get paid for your work and you realize that it is your fault because you didn't charge the person up front? Yeah, but after you go through it once, you'll never want to go through that again. Trust me, I know. I know. As for her friend, I mean, she's already an insanely decent person for waiting 6 years and still being ready to pay you the full price that you agreed on. Because there are a lot of people who have friends and family members who think that just because they know the artist personally and have some sort of relationship with them, that they deserve to have a discount or to have a drawing completely for free. I think that is just super weird that some people just expect that. I mean, I have drawn my friends and family a couple of times, but that was just because I wanted to. They didn't actually commission me, so of course I didn't take money from them. But if somebody you know wants to commission you, then it should be done professionally. All the personal relationships should be set aside. Friendship is friendship, but business is business, you know? Just because they're your friend doesn't mean you can delay their commission for 6 years. Or delay at all. They are not your friend right now, they are your customer. Treat them professionally, do your job. Otherwise, you're just a bad, irresponsible artist who's not mature enough to be taking commissions. She's literally the person I made this reel about. It blew blew up recently, and so many people in the comments have been sharing their experiences with commissions, and I was genuinely like shocked by how common it turned out to be. I made this as a joke, like, you know, oh, horror commission story, and I was just making fun of it. I didn't think it was that common, but oh my god, why is it so common? Why do so many people do that? And people being like, oh yeah, it's a busy time, I have school, I have this, I have that. Then don't take commissions, don't take on this responsibility. People pay you and trust you, and you break that trust. So those people will just stop commissioning artists and will just go use AI, because for them, commissioning an artist was such a shitty experience. So not only are you ruining your own reputation, you're pretty much ruining the reputation of every artist out there. So do it professionally or don't do it at all. Otherwise, you're scamming people. Take one commission at a time. Don't take 20 at a time. I mean, just imagine, would you forgive a doctor or a hairdresser who you paid and trusted, and they completely fucked up your surgery or your haircut and blamed it on, like, oh, you know, I'm just all over the place these days? No, you could sue them and win because they were supposed to provide you a service and they did it poorly. Yeah, and back to this girl. I mean, it's a painting of her dead father. What do you mean you're not giving it to her? Are you insane? What are you gonna do with it? But OP is obviously in the right here, so the verdict is, of course, not the asshole. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Can't wait to read your opinions in the comments. I loved reading them last time. So many people were feeling bad for Jake. If you haven't watched that video, you can go watch it. It also has great stories. And I also have other fun videos on my channel, as well as some tutorials that you might find useful, so you can go watch those if you want. Or if you just want to look at the art that I make, then you can check me out on Instagram. Also wanted to say thank you for supporting me. I have been doing this for like about a year. There are so many of you. I decided, you know what, I think it's time to invest into some new equipment. I spent like 2 weeks trying to make it all work, but it's working. So thank you, love you, and good night, good day, goodbye.